People of the Purple Butterfly here, otherwise known as People of 7 on Twitter and YouTube, people are elsewhere on the internet. My blog is located at purplebutterfly-people.blogspot.com, and my soaps, Purple Butterfly Soaps, can be located at people.etsy.com. Here are my pH strips. Here is a soap that has a air bubble in it. So the first thing I did, because whenever that happens, you want to make sure that it's a air bubble and not a hot pocket. So you test it and make sure that anything that you fill around in there is going to be in your green zone. So I know this soap has no hot pocket. It just has a hole from an air bubble. That goes for this one. See? And I've already did some soap surgery on this one. It had that same air bubble. So, what's soap surgery, you ask? Take your sample of one of your soaps. Take the one that has your... It's never boring in the living room area of this place, because with the new windows, we can now hear outdoors. It used to be soundproof house, so now there's certain sound surprises. But anyway, the one that you can see all the way through, spray that with some alcohol. Spray your sample with some alcohol and squeeze that through as best as possible, because you're going to fill in that gap. Okay? And that would probably take the whole sample, because it's still somewhat soft. And that's another reason why you want to use the alcohol. It keeps your hands sterile, for one thing. And for two, alcohol acts like glue to soap. Take another sample, smush it, because it's still soft. So basically, this now becomes Play-Doh. And you're going to take that and smush it through, closing in as many of the gaps as possible so you have an entire piece of soap instead of a big old gap that don't go there. So, yeah. Little extra does not hurt. Okay? So that's what I have now. That don't look real pretty, do it? So now we take some alcohol and spray it. And just start rubbing it until you have a flat surface. And feel free to mold it on the side to get it back in shape if you need to. And if it slips out or whatever, as long as it's a soft piece, you could put it right back in. If not, there's no shame in melting down the one piece in the microwave and remolding it into a round shape or in a mold or whatever, making a rebatch. Essentially, you're making your own melt and pour at that point, which is fine because this can do it. The only difference is you didn't use a solvent to do it. Well, unless you count the alcohol. So now we're going to spray that again. Not only to get a smoothness, but to erase any germs from your hands and to erase your fingerprints. Yep. And I usually take one of my samples and just smooth it out with the sample. And then if there's odd shaped gap, it usually fills that little spot in like that. Now the only thing I have to worry about is the sides, and with me scraping it along the sides, that little extra is soft and malleable, so you can just apply it to the area that needs some more help. Yeah, this is my personal bar anyway, so it doesn't matter. So I figure I'll just go ahead and show you how to do some soap surgery. Then I'm going to mush that in so that way it stands up. Even if it's round, you want it to stand up. Now this is the one where the air pocket had an indent and then it filled in that area. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing. First, we're going to test it with another pH strip. Because just because one had a clean bill of health doesn't mean all of them did. You want to always test as far down in there as you can go. That's in the green. That means it's safe, which means I can go ahead and use one of the samples to fill in that gap. But first, I'm going to spray alcohol on the one that I'm going to add to it. So that way it gets the hint that, hey, I'm part of the process. I need to conform, comply, not protest. There we go. It's really time to take my teeth out. We had steak for dinner and stuffing and salad and all kinds of good fun stuff. But by now, my teeth have been in all day and I'm starting to feel like something's scraping in there. And it's just becoming a little bothersome. But I use secure adhesive and my teeth are secure. And yesterday, I took them out for the first time in 3 days because they were in there so tight I couldn't get them out. And I didn't want to risk, irritating my gums or whatever. And today they're doing the same thing. So if nothing else, I'm going to have to take a toothbrush and work whatever's under there at the gum level out. So that way there's no pain or whatever. Kind of doesn't need any extra help, but yeah. Ta-da! Now I'm going to spray it with some alcohol, almost to a point where it's wet, and smooth it to the point where you cannot tell I did anything to it. Yeah. And see, the good part about using alcohol for this particular function, it won't lather on you like if you use water. I mean, you can actually do this with water, but water tends to start lathering up. In other words, it thinks it's being used now for its intended purpose. Ta-da! No more gaps, no more holes. And then once that's completely dry, I can take and trim like bezel style any, trace of a bump or whatever. So that's how you do soap surgery. I mean, look at this piece. With the exception of the little unevenness right there, and that is easily fixable. You just take a beveler or a potato peeler and just hold it in place and scrape around the entire edge. You get a nice smooth surface. And then, of course, the original one. I forgot to do that extra spray. I'm running out of alcohol. There we go. And you could barely tell it's there, but once it's completely dry, scrape, scrape, smooth surface. This one I did earlier, tell me where the oopsie was. I don't even know. So this has been People7 on Twitter and YouTube, People elsewhere on the internet. My blog is located at purplebutterfly-people.blogspot.com, and my soaps, Purple Butterfly Soaps, can be located at people.etsy.com. Y'all stay blessed and stay tuned. Bye now.